Impact of COVID-19 in global economy. So what I expect that your content must be very good. Sometimes it happens that you recall the event. You should maintain your eye contact with all the members who are sitting in the front of you. Clear?
Yes.
No critical remark is accepted, because actually we are training you for the lecturate round. So that do not critically analyze the point of your friends.
Yes.
You'll have to focus more on your content only.
Yes.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
You'll have to frame your content for 30 seconds only, and please do not exceed it.
Yes, sir.
And suppose your opponent has delivered all the important and valuable points which I required or the topic requires, then the chances would be very less that you are going to be allowed to speak for the next 30 seconds.
Yes.
So that it is a kind of huge responsibility on you to deliver all the important contents within 30 seconds of the time
Yes.
period. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay then. So let's start with Saksham.
Very good morning, respected secretary sir, and all my dear friends present out here. 2 years back, the world faced the COVID pandemic, which was indeed an adversity. And when we generally face an adversity, we have two decisions to make. We have two perceptions. Number one, either we can take it as a stumbling stone, or second, we can take it as a stepping stone towards greatness. The COVID pandemic has affected the global economy, and now how we revive from it completely depends on how we are going to take decisions.
As we are gone through the COVID-19 pandemic era, and it has seen the both negative and positive aspect. So without counting the negative aspect, I want to make you aware that the positive aspects of the COVID-19 is that the government has given the aid and assistance financially by contributing $33 trillion to make it count that to make their population healthy. And in fact, we have seen that the green going scenario that is being visible in the country, that we have shifted the climate change with the perception of lockdown, that even the climate is being improved. So we have seen that the COVID-19 has the both.
Well, to have a better understanding of how it is going to affect global economy, we will have to understand what global economy is. Global economy mainly depends on 5 different categories: consumption rate, production, exchange of financial values, trade in goods and services, and generally the work sectors. And if we understand each one of them one by one, that how COVID affected, we can have a better understanding that how it impacted. Talking about my first category that I talked about, production. We know that the movement of the people were restricted to go to office, to go to industries, to factories, and ultimately it resulted in the decrease of production rate, because of which even the consumption was compromised, and we have witnessed the decline of production and consumption rate across the globe.
As we have seen that the global trade and economy has been just stagnant due to the scenario of COVID-19 pandemic, and in that era we have seen that the evolution of COVID-19 being seen from the Wuhan city of China, and being the stagnant property, the shifting of globalizations, that is shifting from the trade from the China side to the eastern and the western, the developing nations, we have seen, and it is visible that the scenario of the globalizations over the other countries or to evolve their resources, it is being countable in the COVID-19 pandemic.
The second category that I talked about, the exchange of financial values or the trade in goods and services. We can take an instance. Let's talk about the tourism sector. Because of the restriction of the movement of people, we couldn't move from one place to another, from one country to another for the tourism purpose or for exploring new places.
Okay, I got all the basic parameter which was required for the respective caption. So Saksham, you are leading in that part. Actually, you covered all the dimension which is required for the global economy.
Yes, sir.
Even you covered tourism also, even online transactions too, even social structures too. So the categorization of topic while delivering the thought, it is very important. Sometimes it happens that without counting the name of those categorized part, even you categorize this also. So with certain good and different words, both are accepted. But that thing was also very good. You categorize the thing, so how COVID-19 affected most of the reason of the economy. So
Yes,
please take your seat. And the next group is Anushka Roy. Anushka Roy. Yes. Hold your seat. And next one is, please come. So what I appeal that your complete personality is not coming out with the presence of dice. So if it is possible, you may just make it aside.
A very good morning to everyone present out here. With new adversities, opportunity comes. The same thing happened 2 years back when the whole world was affected with COVID-19. It also gave a drastic challenges to today's human life, human health, financial problems, economic problems, and management.
Good afternoon. During the COVID-19 results, COVID-19 has a very wide impact all over the world and spread very fastly all over the world. And this create disbalance in the economy sector as well as in other sectors of not only in India but all over the world. We can see how the trade was disbalanced, and the IMF and other organizations have stated that the European Union GDP will drop to 6 to 8%.
As the COVID-19 has affected the global economy a lot, but the global governments were grabbing an opportunity in this adversity to take chances, as the global economy was literally affected by the challenges given by the COVID, which was in the tourism sector.
Talking about the tourism sector has also been widely affected, and just because of the lockdown, we see how the environment has healed itself, and we have one step closer to achieve the net emissions of the carbon by target, and also there rises cases of the unemployment not only in India but in other sector also. There is a huge inflation as well as the change in the price of the oil and the food prices has also been seen there.
COVID-19 was first identified in the Wuhan city of China in December 2019. It affected the global economy and it gave challenges to today's human race a lot. COVID-19 was not just a global pandemic, but the main reason behind this economic challenge were rapid increase in unemployment and taxes, decrease in sector of literacy and taxes were the main reason behind it.
Well, there are multiple benefits when COVID come in.
Okay, stop. So what is the main observation that I have set up in that lecturate round? So you people are not having the main objective of the caption. Even you now talking about global economy, you are talking about your basic concept only, such as terrorism, such as tourism, or something like that. So in the beginning of the lecturate round, what I expect that you should cover all the parameters and then try to speak one by one. Otherwise, it goes infinite. Okay, then please sit down. Next is Khushbu Priya. Yes. So let's start with Khushbu Priya.
Jai Hind everyone. As the topic is global economy, it has been 2 years.
Okay, both of you are expected to look at me only, SSR only, not the others. Start.
It has been 2 years since the COVID-19 pandemic penetrated the human utilizations and made us realize the importance of motherland. The outbreak of the COVID-19 began in December 2019.
Yes, carry on.
Good morning, sir, and everyone present over here. We have witnessed a pandemic that is caused by a virus that has triggered a global crisis like no other. It has impacted not only health but the economy of the whole world. The whole world was sitting on the same boat with the economy of the whole world were disturbed in this pandemic. And we have seen there were some platforms which emerged in this pandemic who take it as opportunity, who turn this adversity into opportunity, like the platforms of e-learning, online businesses, and basically it is IT sector.
Okay, next.
The COVID-19 affect the dramatically economic sectors, livelihoods, lives, and so on. India's fourth quarter of the fiscal year 2020 is below the 37%. GDP of the government released the GDP financial years of 2020 and 2021.
Okay, sometime it happened that in the lecturate round or sometime in discussion round also, ऐसा लगता है कि आप जो है बता रहे हैं, बता नहीं, समझाना है आपको, है ना? Do not give me the information, just make me convince with your complete personality. Maybe possible that you are very expressive, your contents are very loud, but do not reveal the fact only. Just make me convince with all the dimension of your psychology.
The government released the GDP in the financial years 2020 and 2021 is decreases 7.3%. We are also saying that India's impact of export and import. Export in the 2019 in April is 36.45% fall, and in import in India's April 2020.
Yes.
For the development of any country, the economy play a very major role in that. And due to COVID-19, as there were restrictions, there were lockdown, the import and export has been decreased. It was not in the role. So we have seen currently that it has spiked a global inflation. The price of oils and goods and commodity has been increased in every sector. The price of petrol.
Okay, got it. Please take your seat. The fluency that he has is very acceptable. Even he knows what he speaks. Suppose I'll have to speak something on that. Very good morning, my dear friends. It is a very famous quote. Against difficulty, some people break and other break records. It was the era that we have witnessed in the last 2 years. In the COVID-19, when many of the high economy, robust economic sector of the world, even this slashed down, whereas many of them emerged like Burj Khalifa. So I got the opportunity to speak something, effect of COVID-19 on globalization. मैंने स्टार्टिंग में कोई नेगेटिव बोला नहीं बोला, आप नेगेटिव से शुरू कर रहे हैं। आप मुझे बताइए कितने लोग ऊपर चले गए ना, बिजनेस में कितने लोग हाई हो गए, तो हाउ कुड यू से इट वाज ओनली नेगेटिव? पॉजिटिव तो बता नहीं रहे आप बता भी रहे हैं तो बाद में बता रहे हैं, लेकिन आपने पहला जो इंट्रोडक्शन स्टार्ट किया वो जस्टिफाई नहीं कर रहा। तो आपने क्यों किया ऐसा इंट्रोडक्शन? इसमें आपको अपना इंट्रोडक्शन ऐसा करना है, स्टार्टिंग के ऐसे पॉइंट्स बताने हैं जिसमें कि वो पॉइंट पहले से ही मुझे समझना हो, मुझे लगे कि हाँ मुझे और सुनना चाहिए, है ना। पहले से बोलना है कि सभी लोग नीचे गिर गए, IMF ने कहा 7% डाउन हो, सभी बताया आपने, तो फिर मैं क्यों आगे सुनूँ आपका नेगेटिव कमेंट्स को? यू आर प्री डिसाइडेड, प्री फिक्स्ड थॉट्स आर देयर। आपने कुछ नोबल थॉट्स को नहीं क्रिएट किया, सो दैट इट इज़ नॉट इंटरेस्टिंग। इज इट क्लियर? In the lecturate, you'll have to count different figures and just coin it in your own personality figure. लिखा हुआ टॉपिक सभी को पता है, इसमें जब मैं बोलूँगा तो कुछ अलग बोलूँगा। ये टेम्परामेंट चाहिए मेरे को, ठीक है। आपने उस टेम्परामेंट को कैसे रिवील किया है इसमें? किसको नहीं पता है क्या इफेक्ट हुआ? फिर आपसे क्यों पूछ रहे हैं हम इसमें? आप कैसे देख रहे हैं इसको? क्लियर? यू विल हैव टू प्रूव योर आइडेंटिटी इन दैट पार्ट until unless it is worthless. ठीक है? Okay then. Aditya is absent. Veer Ayuskar.
Yes, sir.
Are you in main or reserve category? Please come. So let us start with you. Please come. Have a separation. Let us start with chest now. 15 ready?
Yes.
Okay then. So we are going to have some more information about the respective caption, and chest number 15 is going to start. Please start.
Good afternoon, friends. The topic of my lecture is the impact of COVID-19 on the.
अच्छा, कितनी बड़ी बात हो इसमें कि अगर आप जो है टॉपिक में पार्टिसिपेट करें और आप इतने प्रेशर के साथ भी चीयर अप हो। वेरी हेल्दी गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स. आई होप दैट यू मस्ट बी वेरी गुड. ओके फ्रेंड्स, I got the opportunity to speak something more in front of you. आपने प्रेशर रिलीज़ किया ना, प्रेशर कैसे रिलीज़ किया इसमें? थोड़ी स्माइलिंग से, थोड़े वर्ड कंटेंट को फ्लेक्सिबल बना के किया इसमें। ये तो सभी को पता है कि प्रेशर दे रहे हैं आप पे, ऐसा नहीं कि प्रेशर नहीं दे रहे, प्रेशर है आपके पास। यू हैव टू रिलीज़ द प्रेशर। कैसे करेंगे डिक्रीज़ को? स्माइल करके कर सकते हैं, कंटेंट को काफ़ी अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करें तो पता चलेगा ये प्रेशर में नहीं आ रहा है, कंटेंट बहुत अच्छा डिलीवर कर रहा है इसमें। कुछ लोग हंसना ही सोचते हैं, हंसना ज़रूरी नहीं है इसमें, आप कंटेंट को बहुत ही ईजिली स्पीक करें। इट इज़ ऑल्सो फ्लेक्सिबल मोड, ठीक है? चलिए फिर।
Good afternoon, friends. My name is Mantosh Kumar and I am from Patna district of Bihar. So today I am going to express my view on the topic, which is the impact of COVID-19 on the Indian economy, on the global economy. Friends, the world has changed drastically in the last 2 years, and the reason for this change is a rare disaster, that is a coronavirus pandemic. it has resulted the tragically large number of human lives being lost in the last 2 years. And apart from these things, it also have some of the positive impacts on the world. We can see that the nature is healing in those 2 years, and the ozone layer is the depletion of ozone layer has been healing in the last 2 years.
Yes.
The economy does not depend on just on the capital or the raw material. The people is also responsible for the development of the economy. In recent years, the world has been going through a biologically disastrous period where the all over global economy got down. Even then, people found opportunities for taking the rise in economics, such as digitalization of platforms for education, payment, etc.
As we all know that the world has become more interconnected, and due to this the impact of COVID-19 or the pandemic has become more serious. Apart from in addition to the increased health expenditure and reduced labor forces, the pandemic has hit the exchange or import the supply and demand chain globally, and all these things has led the world face in a very bad manner.
The corona pandemic has affected the world in sectors of tourism, global supply chain, etc. We can take an example of Sri Lanka, as the tourism was the main sector of economy in Sri Lanka, which got spoiled due to the coronavirus, and therefore took the economy of Sri Lanka got down and led to the Sri Lankan crisis.
Also, we can see that the movement of the people has been restricted due to the further spread of the COVID-19. So the countries who are mainly dependent on the tourism industry has been facing a lot of
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It was a nice participation. Sit down. Nancy.
Yes, sir.
You come. And you come. I hope you people are prepared.
Yes, sir.
Clear? When you clear your throat and speak loud, it means that you are very clear about the thought. Sometimes it happens that you people speak very slow. It shows that you are unprepared and you are just recalling the fact while speaking. So that try to be a bit louder. Clear? Please start.
Very warm morning to all of you. So the lecture topic that we are going to discuss is globalization, is impact of COVID-19 in global economy.
Okay, start.
Good afternoon, respected sir and the member presented over here. Today I am Pooja Singh standing in front of you to lecturate on the given caption, impact of COVID-19 on the global economy. Moving towards the introduction part, first of all, what is COVID-19? COVID-19 is it is a disease which is caused by SARS-CoV-2. The first case of COVID-19 was found in Wuhan in December 2019. As everything have positive and negative side, COVID-19 gives us an opportunity for so many things, like in the sector of e-learning, in the sector of online business, in the sector of online teaching. It's given opportunity to redevelop. And
okay, stop. Yes. You'll have to speak for 30 seconds only. Yes.
So as we know that impact of COVID-19 has negative as well as the positive. So now we'll talk about the positive point. Like yes, I believe that it has definitely fallen the economy of the country, but also
ठीक है, बहुत ऑफिसर जाओ. ठीक है, बैठ जाइए आप लोग.
To you all, the impact of COVID-19 in global economy. My friend, first let us take a brief knowledge of COVID-19. In 2019, in December, in China, the city Wuhan, a virus spread out.
City Wuhan.
Yes, sir. A virus spread which has created such a scenario in which there are many threats and economic crisis took place, was named as coronavirus disease, and as it was as it occurs in 2019, it was named as COVID-19.
Jain sir, today we will lecture on topic impact of COVID-19 on global economy.
Look at me only.
Not only on not only one country is facing a problem with COVID-19. All over the world are facing problem with COVID-19.
So,
चलिए next.
My friend, in every crisis there are both impacts of positive and negative. In this scenario also there are positive impacts and negative impacts as well. Like when we take the scenario that China is the biggest exporter of the raw materials and second largest importer of the materials. But because of this, the country were not able to get the supply of raw materials from China, and because of that, they created their own companies and established the industries, and they were now dependent on themselves.
I got it. Sit down. Sit down.
good morning, sir, and my all dear friends present here. As we all know that need and adversities of the situation always brings opportunities and evils. So same we can talk here about the pandemic situation of COVID-19, which give us some opportunities to develop and grow, and some evils which affect our...
You'll have to look at me while speaking only. Hold your eye contact.
So shall I start?
Yes, start.
As we all know that adversities and needs of the situation always brings evils and opportunities with us. Just like the COVID-19 pandemic, which has given some opportunities to develop and also affect the human life.
Human experience is based on everything that can influence its thought of mind, its expression, either from change in genome to the change in economy. A very healthy good morning, respected sir, and everyone present over here. So the
you'll have to speak to me only. I have already declared it.
So the caption for today's lecture is impact of COVID-19 on global economy. In the very beginning of 2020, the world has faced a pandemic, and that was because of the spread of COVID-19 that initiated from the Wuhan city, and very soon it took over all across the world. That led to lockdown in the different countries and somehow disrupted the connectivity of the globalization.
As the restrictions were in full swing due to COVID-19, so there was a major restrictions on the logistics movement sector, due to which imports and exports were not possible. So it affects on the manufacturing sector, which has a great participations on the global economy. Thereafter we can talk about the tourism sector, which has the countries like Sri Lanka and Nepal, which were totally interdependent on tourism, have been affected. But there is also one of the positive sides. Just like there is a need in the desertic situation, countries like India where the vaccination should be done on the large amounts, so we have developed it.
As the globalization was impacted because of COVID-19, so the demand and supply chain at the global level also got disrupted. Because of that, many of the factories got shut down, shops and the markets were closed, tourism sector was struggling, and the oil prices was fluctuating. Because of all these, there was only one thing that was consistently getting impacted, and that was the world economy.
Okay, got it. Please sit down. Take your seat. So who is in the main...
Sir, and good morning.
After that, Shivam and Kanhaiya, ready for that.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, friends. The topic of lecturate is impact of COVID-19 on global economy. Economic, like coronavirus pandemic of 2019, come once every few generations, and that bring change.
I do not need answer. You'll have to speak with your own personality trait. आंसर नहीं बताना है, बोलने के तरीके को थोड़ा सा अप एंड डाउन करिए थोड़ा सा. चलिए. Yes.
Good morning, sir. My name is Rajiv Kumar. Today our lecture topic is impact of COVID-19 on global economy.
Don't move your body.
On global economy. COVID-19 is like a curse in the world. It has affected many lives and threatened our lives. One of the term I would like to recall that
suppose you do not recall it, why you use this term? Need not. Move ahead. आगे जाइए.
Okay, sir.
चलिए next.
Deficit of year 2020 was $11 trillion. In this pandemic...
No, it is not temperament of lecturate. Sit down. Both of you sit down. Come.
Good morning, sir. Our topic is impact of COVID-19 over the global economy. So the COVID-19 is that incident which definitely mentioned its name in the upcoming history, because it was somehow devastating and somehow inspirational. It's created the message more over the indigenization sector, and also deviate the focus of the government over the pollution level, and it also changed the scenario of the entire globe in this regard.
Okay, very good.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone. I got the golden opportunity to elaborate my views on the very beautiful caption, that is impact of COVID-19 on global economy. Gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic was initiated from the Wuhan city of China, and it affected the whole world. Even as it was initiated from the Wuhan city, then the lockdown was initiated from the China. And as we all know, that the China is the hub for the whole world, and even many of the countries are dependent from the small pin to the many of the medical equipment from the China.
Okay.
So during the COVID-19, government has dumped a plethora amount of money in the economy, and because of that, the income of the person has been increased, and which becomes the supply chain was not up to mark, which becomes a serious concern for the inflation in the nation. And after that, before the pandemic, the government was discussing over the minimum government and maximum governance. But as the pandemic has been come, government entire attention diverted toward such sector. Once again, create the same scenario which the government want to exempted earlier.
While sitting in the home, we all were seeing the news. On that time, we all were aware that many of the citizens of the different nations are migrating from their to their homes, and that the reason was that they had lost their jobs. It was also affecting the unemployment in the whole world, which is also hampering the global economy.
Free trade agreement is that kind of things which create a win-win situation between the two nations. But as the COVID-19 pandemic has been spreaded, which put the restriction on such kind of things, even FDI has been also getting reduced with the great pace, so which caused a serious concern for the economy. And gentlemen, everyone knows that any country will be well known for its GDP, and if it will be decreased, so it's quite detrimental.
Good. I should appreciate chess number 5 for his confidence. The voice and tonal quality of chess number 5 shows that he is very confident about his preparation. So only thing that he has to develop in. So you are taking the topic very personally, and even the temperament which is required, you just exceed beyond that. Try to cool down, normalize the situation, and you are going to enjoy the topic. Clear? Because the confidence level that you have is good, but do not exceed it. Clear? Accident may happen with certain things, so it is a good thing with you, and some negative things are also associated. Okay, then please sit down. So who are remaining who are not being checked down?
Very good afternoon to all of you and respected sir. Today's lecture topic is global economy or COVID-19. The COVID-19 is a very decreasing disease in
Okay, next.
Good afternoon, sir, and my friends. Today, topic is impact of COVID-19 on the global economy. Let us talk about the introduction. COVID-19 was originated from the Wuhan city of the China in December 2019, and then it spread all over the world. And later, the WHO, that is the World Health Organization,
Okay, next.
The pandemic. Many people lost jobs, and private sector to very.
Okay, take your seat. Take your seat. I didn't say that they are the best part of it, but those who performed well are going to speak for more than 1 minute. Clear? So number 1 is Saksham. You come. Now you are going to speak for more than 1 minute with the temperament that you had and what type of suggestion I had given it to you. Clear? Please start.
A very pleasant morning to respected secretary sir and all my dear friends present out here. So as we know that when we face adversities, we have two options to react. Either we can see it as a stumbling stone, or we can see it as a stepping stone towards greatness. One such adversity was faced by the whole world since 2 years back, that is the COVID-19 pandemic. At that time, it had an impact on the global economy. And how it impacted global economy requires our knowledge about what global economy is. Well, global economy can vary because it depends on 5 various categories. Number 1, consumption, production, exchange of financial values, trade in goods and services, and fourth and last, general working sector. Talking about my first point, that how it affected the consumption, the production rate. We know that there was a restriction of people to go to office, to go to industries, to go to factories, to open markets, because of which the production rate was compromised. because of which the production rate decreased. Second, consumption. We know that the per capita income of the people were also affected because many of them lost jobs from the private companies. The companies, in order to maintain their existence, had to fire many employees, and these employees were affected for their salary, because of which even the consumption rate in the market.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sit down. Next is Anushka. Yes. Now you are going to speak for more than 1 minute. Clear? And I would like to suggest you will have to hold your hands at the back only. Yes, start.
A very good afternoon to everyone present out here. So our topic.
Can you speak louder?
Yes. A very so actually I'm not feeling good today.
No, I cannot relax you for this.
A very good afternoon to everyone present out here. Our topic for today's lecturate is impact of COVID-19 on global economy. With adversities, opportunity comes. The same thing happened 2 years back when the whole world was affected with COVID-19, but there were still many opportunities. The global economy was affected with it. For example, India launched many new ideas like Vocal for Local and Atmanirbhar Bharat, which promoted a very gradually relevant good change in this global economy era. COVID-19 was the first case of COVID-19 was found in Wuhan city of China in December 2019. The COVID-19 gave drastic challenges to human race and presented tough challenges to human health, financial problems, economic problems, etc. The main reason behind the global impact of COVID-19
Okay, good. Next, I would like with Khushbu Priya. Now, my suggestion would be you'll have to speak double of the sound that you had earlier. Double. Clear? Can you say yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, start.
Jai Hind, everyone. The topic is given global economy. It has been 2 years. COVID-19 is. It has been 2 years since the COVID-19 pandemic penetrated the human civilizations, and we realize the power of motherland. The outbreak of the COVID-19 is began in December 2019. The Indian first level of the fiscal years 2020 is below the 37%. The government released the GDP of the financial years
Okay,
2020
stop.
and 2021.
Repetition of statement is actually very wrong. Please do not repeat the statement or the word that you have earlier spoken. So it is a kind of recalling all the facts that you had, and it is not the true sense of lecturate. Is it clear? बार बार वर्ड को बोलने के बाद दोबारा उसको रिपीट करना एक गलत पैटर्न है, इसमें इसको अवॉइड करना होगा. Now please sit down. Chest number 35.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir, and my all dear friends. As we all know that needs and adversities of the situation always bring evils and opportunities to us. Just like same, we can talk about the pandemic situation caused by COVID-19, where we have some development opportunities, like in the education sector and in the medical field, and other where we can see evils in the global effect of economy. So on moving towards pandemic situation,
कोई बात नहीं, होता है ऐसा. अच्छा, एक बात बताइए, आप नहीं जान रहे हैं इसका प्रेशर फील रहे हैं कि इतने सारे लोग हैं इसका प्रेशर है?
No, sir, I prepared points.
So out of the two, which one is more pressurous? Even you forget the content, or many of the people are sitting in the front of you? What is more pressurous? Forget the content.
Yes, sir.
Forget the content. It is because of the people, or you just generally forget it?
Yes, sir.
Because of the people who are sitting in the front. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So you'll have to handle this bigger challenge.
Okay.
So even I know that actually it is a bigger challenge for you. Forgetting the fact that you have is not the bigger challenge. Even the people who are sitting in the front of you, if they are going to increase in number, even challenge would be increased. So actually the participation for which you prepare Actually, it is not on that basis. It is the pressure that you realize with the external factor. You'll have to neglect the external factor. Whoever is sitting outside, it is not for you. Until unless you get it, you can't perform well. Last attempt, please start.
As we all know that adversities and needs of the situation always brings opportunities and evils. Just like a pandemic of the COVID-19 situations, which brings development in some sectors like medical and education, and also have an adverse effect on the global economy, where on moving towards, just like restrictions were imposing on the full swing due to COVID-19, so they were the bad effect on the global economy due in the manufacturing sector.
Okay, got it. ठीक है, छोड़ दो उनको भी.